Hello everybody, welcome to Music Discovery Lab. I'm Jason Molinax and this is my friend Keith Senzinger at the
District of Chaos Studios.
And today we're going to be building some homemade percussion instruments for children, basically. So we're going to make some broomstick claves, some toilet paper tube shakers, and some plastic bongos. So these are all things that are pretty easy to make, and we're just going to show you how to do it, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make 3 pairs of claves out of an old wooden broomstick that Keith had just laying around the house. This first pair is actually 8 inches long. We're going to make 2 more pair. One is going to be 7 inches long and the other is going to be 7.5 inches long. The reason for that is hopefully the different lengths will give us different pitches. So we're going to saw them right now after we measure the broomstick, and then we'll sand it down.
Well, now that we've made our measurements, we're going to put the broomstick in a miter box to get a nice square edge on it and actually do the cutting. Slow and steady. There we are. Got a little rough edge, but we can sand that down in the finishing process. Okay, now we're going to sand down the rough edges on these. You could use sandpaper if you want to, but we're going to use a Dremel tool, also known as a rotary tool. It's just a little bit more fun.
Alright, so here are the claves. You ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is the Bo Diddley beat, you know.
So I hear.
Goes, hey Bo Diddley, hey Bo Diddley.
Good job. Now we're going to talk about how to make a shaker out of a cardboard tube. You could use a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll, anything like that. So materials needed are paper towel roll, toilet paper roll, some scissors, marker, cardboard, some glue, and some sort of vegetable matter. First thing you want to do is take your toilet paper roll, place it on the cardboard, and using your marker, draw a circle around it. You can see I've already done a practice one, but here's the final draft. So I'm just going to make a circle like so. And once that's done, take your scissors and just cut it out. Keith suggested that I do it like this. Cut out a square, and then you can do the fine cutting from there. So now I'm just trying to make a couple little adjustments. This isn't going to be a completely perfect fit, but we're going to stick it in there the best we can. Like so. Uh-oh. There. Now, there's a lot of gaps in there, but we're going to fill that in with glue, so it should be okay.
Alright, we've sealed up one end of our tube with hot glue and let it dry. We've pre-cut the other end. Now we're going to fill it up with some split peas. You can use pretty much any kind of dried vegetables that you think will give you a good sound. And we'll cap it up on the other end here. Tack it with some hot glue on the corners. Let that dry. Then we'll come back and seal it all up, and once the glue dries, we'll have a shaker. That was awful.
So the last thing we're going to be talking about today is the plastic container bongos. You can use any plastic containers you want as long as they're 2 different sizes. That way you get some different pitches. These are made out of, what is this? Powdered Gatorade containers. And we chopped off part of the bottom part of one of them just so it would have a different pitch. So we get this. And then we made another one earlier made out of some sort of coffee and cashew nut containers. So these are really fun and easy to make, so let's show you how to do it. For this particular set of bongos, we decided to use these two containers. They're essentially the same size. We chose them because they have a very wide mouth, and it just makes it easier for you to get your hands in and out of and to work with the bolts. In order to change the pitch, Keith actually sawed off the top of this. It was pretty fun and intense to watch. And then we sanded it down a little bit, added some tape just to make the edges not so rough. So what we need to do now is measure where we're going to mark these things so we can put in the bolts, and Keith's going to show you how we're going to do that.
In order to join these two containers up, we've measured 2.5 inches and 4.5 inches from the bottom on each of these. And because you don't want to make a black mark on black ink here, I made some holes with an awl. Now we're going to drill these out so we can fit our bolts. And I should mention that the holes are not bigger than the bolts, so these bolts will actually fit in snug, which will make it a lot easier to work with them. Now we'll go on to the next step. Well, we've drilled our holes and they're aligned correctly, so now we're going to attach the two containers with 2 bolts. I've already put the lower one on here, so we'll just fit this one in. Got a washer on each end. Fortunately, everything aligned correctly because I was just gauging that by eye when I made the punches with the awl. So you can use almost any kind of bolts, but you know, these are relatively small, but they're plenty sufficient for the job. And tighten it up here just using a socket. Doesn't need to be too awful tight, but enough to keep it you know, going for a while before it falls apart, which we hope it won't do anytime soon.
So there you have it, plastic bongos. You can play with your hands, you can play with drumsticks. We're going to use chopsticks. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I got the dad thing going on. You notice that? Starting to get dad bod. I do the grunt every time I bend over. I'm like, oh! Yeah, that's where I am. So, thank you so much for watching our video on homemade instruments that you can make for your kids or adults. I mean, we obviously had a lot of fun with them. So, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Music Discovery Lab.
Watch your thumb.
Yeah. You make this look so easy.
Just slow and steady, slow and steady.
That's not my style. You can tell I've had a lot of experience with woodworking and stuff. Success.
There you go.
Success. I did it.